allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everybody. So, you have the roll call, Catherine?
Yes.
And did everyone get a copy of the minutes?
Yes. All
Any-
right. Beth Waterman, Bruce Barry, Robert Cruikshank on Zoom, MJ Reese, Angel Molina, and Mark Note, and our videographers. And yes.
Thank you. Could I hear a motion to approve the minutes, please? Angel?
Second.
Great. Is there a second for the approval of the
Second.
minutes?
Second?
Mark?
I don't know if Mark's a voting
Well,
member.
he-
No, I'm not. I'm just a
He did-
proxy, I
He
guess.
did swear in. I saw
It's all
him
right,
on
it's all
camera.
right.
Okay, MJ.
Yeah.
I'm a de facto member because I'm on the zoning board.
Hi, Maya. There's a microphone at this table over here. Can you give that to Maya? Okay.
That's a question.
Nice to see you, Maya. You too. So we're just getting started here with the membership items, correspondence and announcements. Yeah, but first we'll start with the photo that Mark took, I think at our December meeting of the CAC. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for good work, guys.
Lovely.
You know, you hear so often that good wine is a tripartite partnership between the grape, the bottle, and the cork. And compelling portraiture is a tripartite partnership between the photographer, the camera, and the portrait subject. So thank you for your cooperation, guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank
It's
you
beautiful.
more than us.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah. I put in the agenda, and I'm sorry to report that Mary Herman has resigned from the CAC. Really appreciate her work with us, but her involvement with the comprehensive plan is overwhelming, she said, and so she stepped down from our Conservation Advisory Committee.
So does that mean that we need to enroll another member?
Well, we are a body by law that's constituted with 7 members. And we have had 9 members, so we had 2 alternates. But we can certainly accept another member. I would be happy to have, the more the merrier, you know. It's just, if there's anyone listening in the greater Shandaken area out there who would like to join us, we would love to have you. So talk to Peter DiSclafani. I think that's the best route, because he would be the person who would appoint us, who appoints us. We got an email from Matt Kovner, which I circulated to everyone. He's on the Town of Olive CAC, and he was proposing a joint meeting with us. Excuse me, Robert, if you could mute yourself, thank you. Anyway, joint meeting coming up. He didn't have dates yet and so forth. So that's part of our NYSERDA campaigns. Was there anything else? Yeah.
Did you say April 6th? Did you throw that date out?
He did, yeah.
Did he? Mm-hmm. Let me get my calendar.
It's my birthday. I just want you all to know.
Thank you.
That's a Saturday.
Yes, it is.
You got a number for us, or are you ageless?
Okay, April 6th, thank you. I got it in my calendar now.
So he was looking for maybe a couple of EVs there to give people rides in.
Well, something like that, I think. So, I mean, perhaps you might, I circulated the email, you might volunteer if you're willing, you know. I don't know if it was for rides or just for people to look at them.
He said something
I
about
think he mentioned rides as well, which is fine. It's just my birthday and I'm not quite sure. I'll be there.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any other membership items, correspondence, or announcements anybody has they want to bring up? Okay. Earth Day Planning Report. Well, at our last meeting, we established a committee, and the committee has met twice. And the committee has assigned people to solicit sponsorships from various organizations and businesses throughout the town. And we're working, I think our next big push is to try to make sure what events we're proposing. You know, exactly what we're doing. I did get a notice from the Phoenicia Library saying, you can put the library down as having an Earth Day story hour on 4/20, that's Saturday, at 11. Time and title need to be confirmed. We'll send you the flyer when it's done, with Autumn. So that's a nice partnership event, you know, to have their support. And I hope we'll get support from the Pine Hill Library as well. But our events, as I think everyone knows, are on Sunday the 21st. And we're going to start off at the Farmers Market, which runs from 11 to 2 in Pine Hill, and then transition to the Phoenicia Playhouse from 3 to 5, where we're going to have some short films and discussion. And Maya's going to introduce the films and lead the discussion, I think.
And also the trivia.
Well, we're going to have a trivia game. I don't know if that's going to be in both places or one or the other, but that's up to the trivia game people.
Yeah, I would think that's just at the earlier event.
Okay, Bruce, I don't know if you can hear Maya, but she thought that would just be at the farmer's market.
Well, I thought we'd be on it in both places, but that's up to you.
Well, we can talk about it at our committee meeting.
Is this trivia related to conservation issues?
Climate, yes.
Is there,
It's a contest, it's kind of like a game.
does that exist, or do we have to come up with questions?
I'm gonna make it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maya's going to make
And
some-
we've secured some donations as prizes. So Menla offered not only a donation of money, but they offered a massage as well. So
Oh,
somebody could win a
wonderful.
massage. And I think something else got offered,
Well, I know that
gift card.
Bruce got a gift certificate from Maves, so that would be a prize.
I think the diner is going to give us a gift certificate as well.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
It's very exciting.
We're gonna have to make hard questions to win the prize.
Yeah, yeah.
what time does it go to the Playhouse?
3 to 5.
3 to 5?
3 to 5 at the Playhouse. So, I am attending a Zoom tomorrow at 6 p.m. with the Phoenicia Business Association. I can't attend their meeting, but I guess they meet on Zoom anyway, I don't know. In any case, I will make them aware of it and encourage their participation in whatever way they can. I solicited donations from a couple of businesses, Bread Alone and Brios, where I took our flyer, which looks like this, and I have copies of this if anybody wants
I
them.
do.
Okay. And I added this. This is the information sheet about the CAC. Because our flyer doesn't, it's great, but it doesn't mention the town. And so, you know, this gives us, I think, a little more credibility. So I dropped these off at businesses with a handwritten note and hoping to hear back from them. So I brought copies of both of those two forms if anybody wants one. Now does anybody else have anything they want to say about Earth Day planning?
We'll solicit Charter Limited to see if they want to do a casting demonstration, fly tying
That would be
demonstration.
fantastic.
Something like that.
And it could be Saturday during the day, so it doesn't conflict with our events on Sunday,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, we'll coordinate.
Yeah, that would be fantastic if you could do
Yeah.
that.
I don't have a sign off yet, but we have some meetings coming up that we can
Yeah, good,
bring that up.
great. Thank you, Mark.
I think maybe offline, let's come up with a date of like the run of show of, by which we wanna like have everybody, you know, whoever's speaking at Earth Day, like confirmed by.
Yes,
So
I
we can,
think
like,
that
work
we
backwards.
talked about that at our last
Oh.
meeting. I don't know if it was in the notes. But I think, Bruce, do you remember what the date was that we wanted to have all the people confirmed about our, you know, if, whether Hill of the Earth was, Maya, you were gonna contact her, I think, and whether she was gonna be available on stage at the Playhouse maybe, or whatever. I think our next meeting is the 5th of March, and we were hoping we could have all the performers and whatever else you want to call it, you know, our activities firmed up by then.
Speakers, okay.
That's all you asking me, if I remember what date, did you say, or what price?
Say that again, Bruce, I can't quite hear you.
You asked me if I remembered something.
Oh, well, I looked in my notes. I think we wanted to have all the performers confirmed by March 5th. So if it's possible, you know, that might be, we have probably want to do a press release, and we want to do a flyer and acknowledge our sponsors, and we gave the sponsors until March 21st. So maybe we wouldn't do the flyer until after the sponsor deadline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Karine Dute's company, the woman that's doing the, parks, landscaping, I might have mentioned this last time, said she was either willing herself, but I haven't gotten a definite, but, wants to come and display stuff with the park designs at Earth Day event.
okay. How are we doing with the microphones? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking to yours. Can you hear us okay, Bruce?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Well, are there any other updates on the Earth Day planning that people wanna?
The only other thing was that I talked to Samantha at the bank. We're gonna get a donation from them. And, we talked about the seeds, but she deferred to Catherine about that, so, they're gonna discuss that. Whether they're gonna do the seeds because of the wrong time of year or whatever it was, but that was a discussion that was gonna happen later on. I just mentioned it to Samantha, and she said, yeah, she was aware of it, she had talked to you about it already?
I spoke with Samantha, she was getting me in touch with another woman who hasn't gotten back in touch with me, who's higher up in the banking system, but, I was gonna go see Samantha tomorrow and see what she had to say, about it, if she knew any more, because I haven't, gotten any new information.
Yeah, no, I deferred to you on it, because I was just there to collect the money, and did, so. And also Samantha said she might give us a gift certificate too. I don't know if she how we do that in a bank, but, if it's for $1 million, I'll take it.
Anything else? We're asking people to write checks made out to Shandaken Earth Day and either, so Bruce, did you actually pick up any checks?
No, not physically. I gave them self-addressed envelopes with a stamp on it,
Oh.
and,
Super.
and Samantha said the bank's gonna make a direct deposit because they have the facilities to do that.
Okay, super, thank you. All right, now, NYSERDA community campaigns. I think tonight, I think at the last meeting, we talked about having a draft flyer tonight to talk about how to announce this to the public. I don't know if that got in the minutes or not, but, that's something we need to be thinking about how we're gonna announce it, and I have a couple ideas. One idea is, I think that Maya is the furthest along in the community campaigns so far, because she has already established a website on the Shandaken town website. So she has the, you know, the announcement for the public to look at. And, so it's a good model for clean heating and cooling and the EV, you know, to see what Maya did with Robert Drake's help. And see, I think, you know, it's a little confusing to try to do a rollout of all three campaigns at one time. But I think we probably need a flyer that gives a general overview. But each one has a lot of detail, and people, I think, will have a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest we start with community solar and do like a little presentation at the next town board meeting or something as a start, you know, to try to get our feet moving, but also to, you know, roll it out, you know, kind of slowly, give us a chance to, you know, see how it works.
A soft open.
Yeah, a soft open.
So Beth, are you suggesting that we sort of, just all of us focus on one particular campaign and then sort of,
No, I'm not
Roll that
suggesting
out.
we all focus on Maya's campaign or your campaign, but I was just saying, since Maya's already got the website, that we could say, we're starting these campaigns, and tonight we're here to tell you about the first one, community solar, and then talk about that. And then the next month, say, well, we're here to talk about our second campaign, whatever that is, if it's electric vehicles or clean heating and cooling. And by that time, it would be a deadline to get a website established for people to refer to,
Mm-hmm. A webpage.
a web page, yeah.
Yeah. And the goal with the webpage was really, because I was having a hard time, and I'm sure, you know, MJ and Catherine were as well, in terms of finding the information on the NYSERDA site of who NYSEG supported, who, you know, and so I, because I was having a hard time and I had to actually ask somebody from Cornell Extension to have a call with me, I thought, okay, I'm gonna take their information and condense it onto a page to make it super clear for people who have NYSEG versus Central Hudson, and who are the suppliers of each, have a link that directly goes to them, because a lot of the NYSERDA links are dead, they're broken.
Yep.
So then, and then like a explainer video that's like, what is community solar? How does
Yeah.
it work?
Yeah.
Just to, and that was the goal, really.
I'd like to take it one step further. I mean, why don't we try to enroll people?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the eventual goal when we, so we actually put at the bottom of the Shandaken Community Solar page, we put a sign-up form that has like name, zip code, which community solar you signed up for, and then that bounces to an Excel that goes right to us. So,
So it's a way of keeping track. We're asking the public to sign up, and I mean, I'm keen on signing up. But I started, you know, there are a lot of choices, and I did access this page on the NYSERDA site, or maybe on Clean Energy Communities site, that said, you know, what you need to know when choosing a community solar. And so that was very useful. It said, you know, are there sign-up fees? Are there cancellation fees? You know, and it had some other tips.
Question. So when you say sign up, do you mean like signing up to actually put solar panels on your roof, or is it cost sharing?
yeah, so
With
it's, so
existing.
community solar is where they put all the solar panels in one area, so you have like an array somewhere else, and then you're tapping into the savings, and they take off your utility bill. So it's really good for any income, and that's why they promote it. What I can do before the next meeting, if you want to focus on community solar, and I'd love any help if you want, is Solstice, when I talked to them,
Right.
they had a really good deal of any sign up, we get a little kickback referral bonus. It's like $25. And it's free to sign up to do that. And then they would also report the numbers back to us. So I would like to reach out to all the ones of NYSERDA and Central Hudson and see if they also have those kind of bonus deals. Because then we could just get the bonuses from all of them and use that money for more greening of our town.
This is NextAm, and they've been mailing me these things for quite a while, unsolicited. And so I tried to just put my zip code in there, and they said, well, we're not available now, but we'll get back to you or something. So, you know, it may be that not every one of those links is currently offering community solar in our zip code.
Yeah, I mean, they all basically do the same thing, just some of them have open slots at their farms,
I
and
see.
it's dependent on availability.
Yeah.
You know, so like when I signed up for Arcadia, they had a spot at Half Moon, New York, Half Bay or Half Moon Bay or something. And so that's where my solar is gonna be coming from, and then they'll take off my utility bill.
Yeah.
It's really simple, and I think that's why the website is helpful.
Well, I want to talk to you a little more about it after the meeting,
Sure.
okay? Yeah, I have some questions. Yeah.
Hey, Beth, I just had a question for Maya. Maya, you set up this website. Should we all eventually think about centralizing everything on your website, or is that just particularly for your program?
It's just a web page on the Shandaken Town Board site. So under Climate Smart on that tab, all the way to the right, is the community solar page. And Robert can add all of these to there. So I think we should all have them.
The tab is labeled NYSERDA.
Oh,
So, and then under the NYSERDA tab is community solar, and then we should add the two other campaigns, because
Oh, very terrific.
that's our,
We don't have to invent the wheel again. It's already there, and just add to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
that's correct.
yeah. No, people aren't going to like mayalily.com or anything.
No, it's on the town website. I'm looking at right now, so. So, Maya, I mean, and maybe others would like to attend the town board meeting the first Monday of March at 7 PM here. And we are on their agenda at the beginning of the meeting, so you don't have to sit through reading the resolutions and all the other town business. We are a town authorized committee, so we have an opportunity to speak at the beginning of the meeting. I think it'd be great if people could attend.
Sure.
All right, I just have one question related to this community solar. Does anyone in Shandaken have Central Hudson? I think we're all NYSEG. Isn't that true? It's all NYSEG.
Good.
That's true, that's true.
That's my understanding as well.
And then this next thing, I get them all the time. It says, if you're a Central Hudson utility user, you're able to use this plan. So I just put them in my recycling bin because I am not Central Hudson.
Well, if you look on the website that we were talking about,
Yeah.
NextAmp is one of the companies that serves NYSEG.
Well, when we first started the CAC, Mike DRC came and handed us pages for a community solar
Yep.
sign up, which I did immediately. So now sorry, Maya, I will not be able to participate unless I cancel that and sign up for another one, which I might be able to do. I don't know how complicated. But ever since then, my NYSEG bill comes $0. Every month, I owe $0 to NYSEG. And then I get a bill from Common Energy every 2 or 3 months for like $30-something.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't use a lot of electricity. I don't have a million appliances, but it's a mystery to me how I've never gotten a bill from NYSEG that I have to pay since I started this, and I don't really want. What was the company that you joined? It's Common Energy is the name. It
Yeah.
was one of the ones on the bottom of the sheet that Mike D'Arcy handed out. Long, long ago. Oh, okay.
I mean, from my understanding,
Put a cautionary note in there, please. Be careful because there was something going on with NYSERDA and the outside energy companies where they couldn't figure out the billing, so they just simply sent nothing. They didn't bill you. That went on for me for 9 months. And I kept calling and saying, I'm not getting billed. Oh, we're having a problem. We'll straighten it out. We'll send you the bill. But okay, after a month, I figured, oh, that the next 3 months I called again and nothing. After 9 months, I wound up with a bill for like $2,700. And so I would give them a call and say, why aren't I getting billed?
I have spoken to them, but I will continue to.
Catherine, the dividing line
Just
between,
be careful because it gets really messed up with them, so.
I'm not surprised. Everything that's gone on with Central Hudson down south of here has been ridiculous with their billing.
the dividing line between NYSERDA and Central Hudson is Winnie Road.
Nice save.
NYSEG, sorry. Everything east is Central Hudson, everything here is Winnie
Well,
Road.
I
Well,
just,
that's
I
the
just,
dividing line for the town, pretty much, Winnie
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah, yeah. And
However-
then Woodstock after that.
Right.
okay. Maya, do you have anything else to add?
oh, I was just going to say, each of the community solar companies do it a little differently. Some do dual billing, where you get a bill still from your utility and from the community solar company. Some find that too confusing, so they'll offer one bill from either of the two. But it's basically an accounting thing. It's like, you're basically just taking, it's like a rebate. You're just getting money back off, like 10% off of your bill.
Right.
No.
Do you get a rebate or do you pay?
No, no, you pay less. Yeah, so.
Great, thank you. How about clean heating and cooling? Rob, do you have any updates?
I guess, a short one, and Angel, feel free to add on whatever we need to add, please. I'm continuing as a sort of a guinea pig for heat pumps in the home with geothermal and also with heat pump water heater, having replaced oil firing for both of those. I got my credits from NYSERDA. I'm having trouble actually deciphering what, like I've got $5,000 some odd dollars, and I'm like, well, okay, how was that calculated? But they did send me a check. That part of the system is working, but even when I called the contractor, I was unable to figure out exactly why was I credited that much, and that included the water heater, etc. So I'm still figuring those things out, and I'm, just getting ready to prepare taxes and do the tax credits for both the heat pump and the heat pump water heater. So that's just something we'll add to our knowledge base and be able to share with folks. And if anybody has any interest in learning about heat pumps and learning about our campaign, please reach out to me or Angel, and we'll work with you some more. Angel?
No, I was just gonna say that I wanted to sort of figure out a way that work with town hall in terms of the zoning department regarding how to at least measure any permits that might be taken out.
The
for-
building inspector, I
Building,
think.
correct.
Yeah,
Building zoning.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
just to start that and just sort of see.
I think that's a really key thing to do, because in order to set up your website and so forth, you need to have some way of tracking it,
Correct.
yeah.
Right.
So will you talk to the building inspector or the code enforcement officer? I'm not sure what she's,
That'd be Grace,
Grace?
Grace Grant.
Grace Grant? What about Donna Leone? What does she do?
She's the, I don't know what her term is, she writes the permits.
Well, see,
No,
these
she's
are-
the building inspector, so she goes out in the
She's
field.
Building and zoning, so.
Well, I mean, that's what we want to know when people get permits
We'll look at
It's
permits.
Grace.
from the town.
It's Grace, it's not.
Grace, okay, Grace Grant. She's there every day, so
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah, no, she's very good, she's very knowledgeable.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And she would be the person for you to contact too, Bruce, about,
I'm sorry.
her name is Grace Grant, and she's the person who issues the permits at Town Hall. And Grace would be issuing permits for people who are installing chargers,
Right.
charging devices in their homes. So we want to be able to keep track of how many permits have been written since your campaign started, the date that you got your sponsorship, which was, I think, in December of last year. So any new permits are, we will use for our campaigns,
Okay.
obviously.
And Grace is right there at Town Hall, right?
Yes, she is, and I think she's
She has
here
an
every
office,
day.
ground floor.
She's in the assessor's office.
Beth, there was something you had about
I'll
EVs.
talk to Grace.
Okay.
Okay. EVs, you have to tell me if this is redundant. I usually don't read this reg, it's from the Hudson Valley One, it's from December 20th. The first level 3 direct current fast charging stations are in the Bank of America parking lot. Is that redundant, or did you guys know that?
Down in Kingston?
In the town of Kingston,
Yeah,
at
we
the
did,
Bank of
we
America.
did
Yeah,
talk
they're at
about,
the Bank of America parking lot. Yes.
I'll just quickly read about the financing if I can. The charger site is a major step forward in creating a vast network of such stations. A $175 million cost made possible by the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Formula Program, created through a 2001 federal law, will support the strategic development throughout the state. New York State's second annual NEVI formula appropriation of $37.4 million pushes along a plan to establish an interconnected network for reliable roadside charging every 50 miles or less. I don't know if this is news for you guys, but I thought it was interesting. With an emphasis on locations near interstate highway exits, the charging site in Kingston is one piece of the expansion of the Evolve New York fast charging network that the State Department of Transportation, New York Power Authority have partnered to complete. That was news to me. I don't know if that was news to you guys.
Yeah, it's a great installation, and it is well, so needed, and it's just right off the thruway, so it's easy to get to.
Huh.
There was part of this article in here says virtually no charging stations in New York City.
Yeah,
Hard to believe.
I've experienced that firsthand. A lot of times they're in parking lots, and you have to pay to park in the parking lot. Like $30.
Yeah.
I was gonna cover some of this when we got to EVs, but, you wanna continue while we're talking about it now?
Well, why don't you tell us now, Bruce.
Okay, so, real progress. PISO, the company that installs EVs, has gotten some further clearances and grants from because of NICEAG, and they can install for our town a level 2 chargers at the firehouse for under $6,000.
That's good.
And that's a project that could be ready to go as long as the town approved it. So I would suggest, I would like to ask for a motion tonight, if we could promote that. I mean, this is the best deal I've seen through the 2 years that we've been looking through all this. So this would be 2 level 2 chargers, 2 pedestals, and that would be mounted at the firehouse, pending the chief saying that's okay to do. We need to talk to the fire chief about that.
Which firehouse?
What's it under? It's about. I don't have any paperwork with me because I'm away, but I thought it was like $5,600 or something like that.
Anisha, Emma
So
Flynn.
that's all the electrical work. That's the conduit. That's the pedestals. That's the cost of the equipment. And these would be Tesla brand chargers that could be used on any vehicle.
Bruce, what about maintenance?
Maintenance is covered for, I believe, a couple of years, and after that, the maintenance fees, their attitude is, these chargers are so inexpensive that if the thing craps out in 2 years or 3 years, just replace it. And instead, in lieu of carrying a maintenance charge. These charges also could generate an income for the town, albeit not that much, but at least something. But we do have, as I said, we do have money that came in for the CAC, that we could use for this, but it would have to be voted on by us first to say whether we want to use that money for that to begin with, and second of all, by the town, would need to approve that. So I would suggest if I'm back by the March 1st, which I should be, March 1st meeting, that we decide whether we want to go ahead with this or not go ahead with this. So I would move to say that we would, and that we present it to the town and ask them for their blessings with it.
Okay,
Second.
just to clarify, the town board meeting is on March 4th.
Before, okay.
It's the first Monday,
At
March
7
4th.
At 7 p.m.
Yeah. So, I think everybody knows that Bruce made a presentation to the town board at a workshop meeting on January 29th, which I attended, and gave them all the background for proceeding with this. But now we just need to get them to do it. So I'm not exactly sure. This is the same thing I experienced with the compost program that reminded me of the Philadelphia Eagles tush push. This is what it takes. So I'm not exactly sure how we do that, but that's what
Well,
we
this is not an open-ended deal. He did say to me, the representative from PISO, and by the way, I sent everybody a copy of the
Yes.
invoice, not the invoice, but the quote, and information about it. So you should have that. If you need it, I can resend it to you.
Well, is there a deadline, Bruce?
There is no deadline that I know of.
But you said the offer wouldn't be how long is the offer good for?
Well, he didn't say how long it would be good, but I would say probably for the next 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
But I need to lock that down with him.
Yeah.
He said to me, I know how town boards work, and I know you need time, but we've got this locked in for you. I don't believe it's forever, but, I don't think we have to rush on it right this week, but I think that, before the summertime, it would be nice to make that decision so the work can be done.
Well,
And there's nothing that town needs to do to install this. This is all taken care of.
so I presume the thing the town needs to do is to sign a contract.
Yes, we need to hand this over to the town, have the town contact them, and then let them work it out from this point, because we're just an advisory. We're not,
Yeah.
we have no authority to do anything else but
No.
advise, so.
I know. All right, so,
I guess what I'm asking is, should we present this at the next meeting, to the town board? Because they already know that we're working on this EV charging thing.
sure.
And put it in their hands at this point.
Yeah. I
Is
think
there
that's
anyone
good.
on the town board that would be more, sorry, is there anyone on the town board that would be more, be able to push it along? Is there someone that we could meet with one-on-one and then?
Robert, right? Robert?
I mean, any town board member can be our ally
Yeah,
on
that's
this.
Vanilla, that's the word.
Yeah, but
Just to,
Peter, for sure. Right?
yeah, I mean, I think Peter is probably our strongest.
right.
And I'm happy to work with anybody who does take that on from the town board. I think I told them that at that
Yeah,
last
yeah.
workshop.
Well, I think that's good to bring it up again.
But I guess the question I have for all of you is, do we want to earmark $6,000 out of that $10,000 that we were granted?
Which we haven't
to pay
received,
for
to
this?
my knowledge.
Would everybody agree to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to take a vote on it, that we,
Well,
Why don't
we
you
don't
make
have
a
the money.
motion?
Let's,
Make a motion.
One more question, Bruce, just a clarifying
Yeah.
question. Who's the billing entity? Who ends up getting the electric bill for those every month?
that is a good question, but, that would be us. We get billed for that, yeah, of course.
And then do we need a third-party vendor? You mentioned that, that it brings in some amount of revenue. So this would be a paid public charging station. Do we have to sign up on a paid public, transactional network that allows us to?
I would have to find that out. I honestly don't have the question. All I worked on was how much it would cost us to put in, and but I could find that out.
And we own it. Well, thank you. I support it. Great job, and I appreciate all your hard work on it.
No,
Yeah.
my pleasure.
Bruce, I have one more comment that I just thought about, and I wonder if you've researched this. Half the challenge of driving an EV is finding the location, and a lot of times with these.
But Maya, could you stop for a second? Maya, all I hear is echo, and I can't hear your voice.
Say move back a little bit.
How's this?
And she was referencing that a big challenge in trying to find locations, which I know you're somewhat familiar with being a driver.
Well, so this is like a two-pronged question. One is like, like a Tesla will route you to a Tesla charger. So we would need to like get on a map, or maps for EVs that have mapping capabilities so that people can find it. But then also when you're using like a pay for app charger, sometimes you need connectivity. And I don't know if the firehouse has connectivity, because that could be a challenge if you don't have any service to connect.
Right.
So just two things to think about.
Find out from them, but those are the details. What I believe they said to me is that the software that handles all this would be taken care of as well. What that software does is beyond me, but it probably has to do with billing and how you connect to this particular charger.
Oh, so maybe it's Bluetooth.
As a non-Tesla driver, I have the level 2 adapter, as a lot of drivers do. And when I go to a Tesla charger, I just use that particular adapter, and I also have the Tesla app, so that also helps. But we need to get more details on that. The deal with the Tesla chargers is they're much less expensive to buy than any other manufacturer, which is interesting. So anyway, when I get back home, I will do more research on those particular questions. Maya, could you do me a favor and just send me an email with those questions so that I can ask the right ones, and anybody else who has any questions about it, just to send me an email so I can talk to them and find out what the details are.
Sure.
Maya, there's a website that's run by the federal government. I don't know what the URL is, but it's allegedly lists every charger in the country.
Okay.
Right, but if somebody's driving, like we just want to get on the maps, like we want to get on Google Maps, we want to get on, we don't want to have them go to a federal government site.
Yeah.
They said that would be taken care of. That those chargers would be put on, EV Go,
Cool.
a better route planner, and all of those particular apps that locate chargers. Yes,
But you can also add sites.
that was part of the deal. That was part of it as well.
You can actually add a site on Google Map, and then they submit it, and then so that's another way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I also could arrange to have that company come to one of the board meetings and speak to the board members directly. They said they would do that. So I think that would be the best bet to answer any questions that the board might have.
Yeah, great. That's a great idea.
Okay.
Maybe for the April meeting. You bring,
Which meeting?
well, I would suggest that the April meeting,
Okay, sure.
but I think you should bring it up to them and at the March meeting as a reminder, and then say, would you like me to schedule them to come for the April meeting so
Right.
that you can ask any questions?
Okay, that's good. That'd be perfect. All right.
One more question.
All I really wanted to do is make sure the board was on, the council was on board with earmarking that money, because that money could be used for everything in our, a lot of things in our planning. So, you know, that's about it.
As far as the connectivity goes, I had read recently that MTC, Margaretville Telephone Company, is going to install in Phoenicia townwide Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if it goes as far as the firehouse. I don't know if that's part of the range plan, but,
Doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's on Main Street.
it's just for Main Street.
Yeah, so the connectivity is potential.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing that it's probably Bluetooth, which is just device to device.
Okay.
So that might be okay, but if people can't map, I'm thinking is more the issue. Like, I can't, my Tesla will not, if I didn't put in the information of how to get here back before I knew where I was going, my Tesla would have been spinning, and I wouldn't have a map to get here in this dead zone.
Yeah.
So people won't be able to find the charger.
I see what you're
Well,
saying.
the other route is, of course, not charging anybody anything for the Tesla charger, and not drawing an income from it, and absorbing that as a promotional thing for town, so businesses could benefit from it. But that's a long shot, and again, the town would have to decide that whether they want to do that or not. Because many municipalities will install EVs at no charge to the consumer. They really don't draw that much. I mean, I think they're 7 to 11 or 12 kilowatts per hour. It's not a big draw, but some towns municipalities find it as an advantage to get people into their town and help people in their town. But that's a discussion that the board would have to have about that. So there are options that you wouldn't need a card or an app or anything, just simply plug in.
Wow.
But that's not our choice. That would be the board's choice, the town's choice.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, the rest of the committee reports, I'll just say the compost is going well, and James picks up once a week, and he's getting about 40 gallons a week, and it's going, everybody's good. Comprehensive plan, MJ.
We're continuing to meet and do some updates. We've decided to shorten it a little bit, make sure that we focus on the important parts of it so that we can actually use it as a working document and it's a work in progress. So the distinction of being an archaic, written in stone type of thing, or something that we can actually use, and so we're in the process of doing that, and hopefully we'll be handing an updated version within the next month.
Oh, great. For public review, you mean, or
No, just for the
committee?
for the committees.
An updated version of the entire comprehensive town plan by next month?
No. A working,
Model?
work in progress.
Draft?
Draft, not even a draft.
Oh,
It's just something that he can use so that when we want to apply for grants, we have something that we can show him that doesn't look like it's made in 1999.
okay. Good. Does that make sense? Yeah. The Government Operations Climate Action Plan. Well, we actually finished that. I'm taking that off any future agenda. That was adopted by the town board, and yay. Now, the next thing we're working on is the Community Climate Action Plan. We did the inventory. The inventory is underway, and I think I'm gonna be able to finish that by the next meeting. And then we just started meeting about the Community Action Plan, which is gonna be a much bigger deal. And we're having meetings with Melanie, and that will go on until June. And so she's leading us through the process, piece by piece. But if I can finish the community inventory, that's the basis. That shows all the usage in the town from utility records of electric and gas and fuel oil, and by the community as a whole. So the biggest part of our community the biggest part of our inventory, the community inventory, is the same as the town inventory, it's transportation. Everybody drives around. So the second biggest part is community residential heating. So when I get this draft together, I'll share it with you and that will help explain it. Natural resource inventory. Catherine.
All right, the newest information I have, and Beth, you're aware of this potential, and we haven't had a chance to discuss it, but according to Heidi Emmerich and Melanie Patapis, it seems that the Ulster County NRI should be able to be submitted for our town's NRI, because Shandaken is completely included in the Ulster County NRI. I think that that's great. I think if, we need to submit it to the town and see if they're willing to accept it, and then submit it to the, NYSERDA campaign. Climate Smart
Right.
program. And then if they don't accept it, then we still have time potentially to apply for grants to write an individual one. But if it's done, and we don't need to spend money doing another one, I don't see why we shouldn't. Try to just submit this and say, if it works, it's great.
Yeah.
Where is that document available?
Yes, well, I can give you
There's
this.
some
Oh, please.
I have another
Thank
one
you.
at home, but, I think Peter probably has a few of them, and down at the,
Okay.
Shokin.
Shokin Watershed has
Watershed office has
Oh, I'll be there tomorrow. Did you want this back, or shall I?
If someone else wants it desperately and you're going there
Let me-
tomorrow, then you can give it to the other person. I have another one at home.
Yeah, let me say this is something happening around the state. My wife owns a graphic design firm, and we've been doing graphic design. We did one for Columbia County. We're currently doing one for the town of Kent, and we're in negotiation for a new contract to do one for the town of Newburgh. And especially in the Columbia County was extremely detailed. I mean, down to the species of grass,
Yeah.
all the macroinvertebrates, butterflies, the whole 9 yards. I'd love to see that in this town. It's probably not as
No.
detailed as this.
No, it's not.
That is very detailed, but it's not at the granular level. So we may need to accept that for part of our work and then do some additional work.
Possibly
But-
for the future.
But if, yeah, we don't know all the answers here.
No.
If you want to know how many newts are in Columbia County, we got the information.
Sorry, basic question. What's the goal of this?
It's to get our next level of
Management expertise.
Yeah.
Based on what species are here?
No, it's the soil composition, water flows, water pollution, air quality, rainfall distribution,
I see.
vegetative distribution, woodland resource distribution. I mean, it's extremely detailed.
It's good
Including
for
invasive
management, but in our town,
Oh, yeah, yep.
in our town, 77% of the land is owned by the state and the city. So our town is not as vulnerable. In other words, they're not these fragile ecosystems that could be threatened by development, because
Yes, that's threatened
they're
species as
already
well.
forever wild or under easement by New York City. So our town is a little different from the other towns.
Very different.
Yeah, and our needs are not as great to have all that information, because New York State has collected all that information about their land, and, you know, it's not quite as much of a necessity. That's my feeling.
But the overall
I
reason
could
for
be
having
wrong.
this is
Yes.
why is that coming across our desk? I guess what's its connection to?
Well, it's an important document, very important document, because it does,
Well, everybody drinks water.
Yeah, no, I'm just
So-
trying to put two pieces together.
yeah.
Well,
Because this is the first time I'm hearing of this, so I'm just wanting an explainer, a
Yeah.
2-paragraph,
It's
or like,
it's one of our requirements for moving forward in our status as a town, level.
Climate
We're
smart
bronze, and we
It's
wanna
a,
get to
Gets
it's
us up to silver.
it's a required priority item for us to do.
Oh, I see, gotcha.
Yeah. So
So,
stay tuned.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe, at the next town board meeting, we can present this and say, are you willing to, acknowledge this as, or whatever the technical words
Well,
are.
let's find out from Heidi and Melanie what we need to do. Okay. I don't know about pollinator pathway. Do we have any more information?
No
Yeah.
information, I'm still waiting to hear
Right.
back from,
Ulster
Carrie
Savings Bank.
and, yeah, Ulster Savings.
And nothing new on Repair Cafe. So our next meeting is March 18th.
Where and when is the Repair Cafe now?
Well, we had one Repair Cafe and we put it on our agenda because we thought we might do another one. Caleb and Bruce were the people who organized it, mostly Caleb. And Caleb is a senior in high school and we haven't seen him lately. So we have no plans at this moment to institute another Repair
Okay.
Cafe.
Woodstock is doing one, I think at the library, Woodstock Library.
Well,
If you need
if the
repair.
information is on the Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency, they have a coordinator for
Okay.
the, Repair Cafe coordinator for the Hudson Valley. So if we ever want to do one, we can work with their coordinator, but,
Okay.
right now we have a lot going on and I don't see that we have the,
Yeah, that's my feeling, that's my feeling also. I think that we have a lot of,
shall I take this
lot
off
to
the
do.
agenda for,
and perhaps during the summertime, we can do another, repair cafe.
yeah.
This hasn't been on my radar.
No, I agree. I think we'll just forget about it for a while. Does anybody have anything else they want to, Rob?
Just real quickly, we got an email from Caleb about 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Saying that he apologizes for being out with his conflicts with college applications, midterms, and other things. He's eager to join the next meeting and continue participating as his schedule clears up.
Okay, super. That's wonderful.
I just have one other thing I need to ask Maya if, we discussed it last time. If you could just send me a link to some of the films that you'd like to show at the
Oh,
class, I'd love to see
yes.
them. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
She's doing it as we speak.
Also, as far as the EV section of this goes, I was at the Rivian factory today, and I talked briefly to one of the people there about have any municipalities bought any Rivians for their municipality, in other words, police cars or anything, and they said they've gotten some requests for it, but he doesn't know if they have. But I would like to look into that maybe further and propose it to the town. So the next prong of my particular section here would be to perhaps urge the town for the next vehicle, whether it's a police car or the supervisor's vehicle or road supervisor's vehicle, to be an EV. I'll get some more information on that and present that to one of the, maybe in the April board meeting as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay,
That's it for me.
thank you.
Do you need motions to adjourn?
Yeah,
Second.
okay. Bruce and Angel,
All in favor?
thank you all very much. All in favor? All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Beth, you wanna take this and